Welcome back, dear viewers. And in this segment of our program, we are going to talk about the future of automotive industries in Egypt, as we have a special guest who has been awarded the Best International Quality Award for auto industries. Is going to tell us more about his award and the future of this important industry in Egypt. And we are joined by Mr. Shady El Safty, is Regional Quality Manager, Egypt North of a leading automotive company. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for hosting me today.
Good morning, sir. So before we talk about the future of automotive in Egypt, first of all, let's talk about this award, the importance or the significance of the award, and tell us more details about it.
I'm really proud of this award because it's the first Egyptian African receive this award. This was only received from 1994 till now, like 25 years, received by American expert on automotive industry in USA, and this is the first time, so I'm really proud. The gift or the award are coming from American Society of Quality, ASQ, which is the leading non-for-profit organization which really put and sets the strategy for quality all over the world. And the award have 4 criteria, mainly for quality improvement done, quality leadership, innovation approach in quality, and supporting the community and giving back to the community, and how to raise the voice of customers. So it's really good, and I believe this will promote the engineers from Egypt and promote and highlight more about automotive industry in Egypt. So we need to use this, and we keep promoting our engineers, and how we can promote this. This will help our engineers, especially on the regional basis.
So, sir, what is the criteria on which they choose the winner of this?
The winner is through nomination, as I mentioned, like 4 dimensions. The first dimension, how is the leadership or the engineer make some improvement in the product quality, and this was measured by warranty metrics.
So you made some improvement in the quality
of the product itself.
Yes.
Of the product.
So
where
what
I
kind of improvement?
Mainly for warranty and quality feedback from the customer, and what will be the customer satisfaction for our product. So and this also really voice of the customer, not only like internal metrics, it's external metrics, and how the customer sees the car versus the competition, or sees the product versus other competitors.
What are the challenges that we are facing right now when it comes to the automotive industry in Egypt?
We have many challenges here in the region, because the automotive industry is a global industry and there is a lot of competition. If I talk about Africa, Egypt is number 3 market share or production in Africa, after South Africa and also Algeria. Algeria is a big market, but we see Morocco now is making very big steps in automotive industry in the last 3 years, because it have a good relation and trade agreement with Europe. So we face a strong competition regionally. Also, we have in the Middle East, Turkey and Iran. Both of them have very strong automotive industry. So we need to take some quick action to lead the industry in the region.
So what kind of quick action you need?
The most, from my point of view, the most important is to support the auto feeding industry. Auto feeding industry is very critical. The automotive industry, Egypt have very good trade agreements that we don't utilize 100%. One of the trade agreements that we have called the Agadir with Tunisia, with Morocco, with Jordan.
Agadir agreement, you mean?
Agadir agreement, is trade agreement that we can export cars or auto feeding industry to Morocco without no customs. We don't utilize this in the best way. Morocco, on the other hand, utilize this in the best way, because there is some car assembled or manufactured in Morocco, is a French car, as exported to Egypt, product exported to Morocco. So we need the businessman and with the government direction to support this kind of export and utilize this agreement to the best of automotive industry. Another agreement also, His Excellency Tariq Kabil, the Ministry of Industry, signed, and also good, I think is valuable for Egypt, with Mercosur. Mercosur is Argentina and Brazil, and both of them is very strong in automotive industry. So if we have support for auto feeding industry to export this part, because now we have very, very good competitive advantage. Our manufacturing cost is very low. It can be the lowest all over the world. So utilize this trade agreement and get advantage of our competitive advantage, which is a low manufacturing cost. If we utilize both of them, I think we can have leading position regional.
But talking about the industry itself in Egypt, and talking about the idea of manufacturing and working, I believe that we are talking about car assembly, right? Or
yes.
But what about manufacturing here under the challenges we are facing? And there were many trials to start. We used to have a factory in the past. people were talking about how to continue with this or how to have something like cooperation with the famous companies, for example, to start something like this in Egypt.
Totally agree with you. From my experience here, we have assembly, but we have assembly not full manufacturing, not because we are not capable. We are very capable. We have very strong human resource, and we have a lot of capable engineer. The issue here is that the market in Egypt size is very small compared to the global market. This year, the market will close 130,000 unit, which is very small compared. If we compare to China, China will close 30 million car per year. So it's very small market. So the only way is that we can have this big investment that we make Egypt as a hub for export. For example, as you mentioned, this is the best way, and all company work like this, that we have joint venture with Chinese company, and the future usually is Chinese because China is leading the automotive industry in the world. So if we have like joint venture, like Nasr for automotive company, yes, with some Chinese government company, so it's help us to make it hub. And this Chinese company will use Egypt trade agreement, like our trade agreement with Europe, with Agadir, with Mercosur. We have also one very valuable trade agreement with COMESA in East and South of Africa. So I think we can promote this for international company in Russia, in China, because this country need to export to us.
So you just said that China is leading the market now.
Yes.
In what sense?
From the size,
the
size itself. The size is 30.
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing, automotive industry, the size.
But the Chinese car is not always efficient.
This is the perception from China. I work in China 5 years. Now the best cars in China, all the global players have manufacture and industry in China, and China now change the perceptions. They have very good quality, but of course they have a big range of products. They have some product with low cost, low quality, but of course they are leading from the market size. As I mentioned for you, 30 million car. If we go for the second market, US, like 18 million. If we go to Japan and Germany, 7 million. So China, from the size of the market, they are leading the market. And I think if Egypt...
Chinese cars.
Not Chinese car, it's a global car, but made in China. Yeah, it's not Chinese product of itself, but it's like global international car, take use of big market in China and manufacture car in China.
Actually, they achieved great success in this respect, talking about any product. When it comes to manufacturing, we can see all the brands, they are moving into China for manufacturing inside. But the point is, definitely, as we all know, that China has a wide range of products, whether we're talking about the A-class ranging different grades. But the point is, how far are we going to monitor? Because this has always been the point, to monitor what kind of cars to be received or to enter the country, because definitely we have many challenges when it comes to automotive in general, and the quality and the services provided, all of these.
I think this is a very good point, and in Egypt in the last 3 or 4 years we have a big improvement in the awareness about consumer rights, and we have consumer...
I'm just sorry to interrupt you, but we have here a picture for you when you were awarded the award. So can you tell us more about
this
it?
prize I have been awarded in China in 2013 after my successful work in China. I worked in China for some leading automotive company in China, and have this time I have been rewarded after the successful and improvement in quality performance.
This is different from the other awards.
This is different. I received several awards. The one of quality is the last award, but also I received one of very important award in US in 2012, which is Young Industry Leadership Award from Society of Automotive Engineers.
This one? No, this one
was a strategic, this like master degree, strategic master degree.
Yes.
So after living in China, I think that you agree with me when it comes to the quality or the efficiency of the product that I will receive here in Egypt.
Yes, this in every place in the world, and as I mentioned before the photo, that we have increased in the awareness about consumer right in Egypt in the last 3-4 years, and I think through the program I like to thank Mr. Atif Yaoub, the head of Consumer Protection Agency, because now we have a strong agency for consumer and help the customer. Now, if you buy a car, in 14 days, if you don't like your car, you can take it back.
It's not about the idea that I don't like my car, but definitely
if you don't like the quality,
if you don't like, that will never be clear from the first 14 days. I mean, after a while, definitely there will be many other things in addition to the security issues that must be guaranteed in any car in Europe, for example. And we know that in Egypt, sometimes we have some cars that are not the same, with the same efficiency, like cars to be in Dubai, for example, or Europe in general.
No, but for global product and the car we assemble here in Egypt, we receive a lot of audits and quality audit and a lot of certification and validation is not less than what is done in Europe and US. And many, even here, if we need to manufacture some local part here in Egypt, we need to send part to take some test and validation on home room in Europe and some test lab in US. So we need to have the trust of made in Egypt products. So from cars made in Egypt, I'm very confident that we have very good quality, and we need to say that we are proudly have product made in Egypt. And the car I work with very long time, we have the best scores because we have benchmarking with some other car. We have very good score. So I think Egyptian worker and Egyptian industry are capable. That we just need opportunity. We need from the customer and from Egyptian to have more trust in our Egyptian product, because in the last few years we have a big improvement in quality.
So how do you see this increase in car prices in Egypt?
Car Egypt is, as I mentioned, because value-added assembly, and
yes.
this is the issue here in Egypt. The value-added assembly in passenger car is around 45%, and in commercial car and trucks is around 60%. So the industry is very sensitive about foreign exchange currency. So
yes.
whenever the US dollar grow up, the prices will grow up. It's not like, because what we need to do in the future, we need to deep the localization percent. We need to make more and increase this percent. Like passenger car, we need to keep increasing from 45 to 60 to 70. And this will help us to take the car pricing down. Because as I mentioned here, the labor price and the manufacturing cost in Egypt is very low. The idea, this industry is very sensitive to US dollar because a lot of components have been exported
so
from US.
So you mean that if we start to manufacture these components here in Egypt,
yes,
this will
we
help
already manufacture. If we keep manufacturing more and increase this percent, the prices will go down. And I think now this is the direction from the government and auto feeding industry, that we keep improving and deepening the localization percent in Egypt in the coming few years.
I think one can say also that this field can support a lot the Egyptian economy as well.
Yes, overall, the industry in Egypt is related to or contribute about 16 to 20% of GDP from all over Egypt, and the plan to increase it, and the forecast that this will be increased 25% by 2025. I think the industry will be crucial for our economy to keep increasing. So we need to keep investing. But as I mentioned before, the export now is the only way, I cannot say the only way, is the most important to keep increasing this industry, because we need to attract a lot of foreign investment here in Egypt. We need to transfer a lot of knowledge, and I think the best way to have this joint venture with global company, so we can transfer knowledge, and we have big investment, and we use Egypt as a hub, and this will help us to increase the cash flow and foreign currency.
So after receiving this award, how can you benefit Egypt from your experience? What do you want to do to help this industry?
I like to do, and what I already started to do, because now I work with Ain Shams University, the government university, in something called advisory board. I'm a member in the industry advisory board, where I consult the university, not only me, with some, of course, industry experts, to share with them what is needed in the market, especially in the education system. And Ain Shams is a leading university, and I also graduated from Ain Shams. It's very good university. They listen to the voice of
mechanical engineering, you mean? Department?
Yeah, I am graduate from automotive, mechanical engineering, and I work in the industry advisory board, where we consult the university, and university, I need to thank them from the program, because they listen to the voice of the market, what is needed in the market, and we keep helping them.
How can to develop the curriculums to,
exactly.
to match the global market.
To revise the curriculum with them, give some recommendation and some advice, and also we give some seminar and some workshop, and try to help these students.
And you have a direct contact also with the students? I mean, these seminars, the workshops, you sit and talk with them about the needs of the market, the challenges they are facing?
For myself, sure. In different way, I have been hosted several times in Engineering Egyptian Day, where I can share my success story, because this is what we need to do with young generation. We need to give them faith that we can, because most people think that we cannot. The idea here, we can, if we keep working, we keep improving ourselves, because we always think that continuous improvement is endless journey. If the student in Ain Shams University or any other university keep updating himself, keep studying well, keep training in summer. I just give another example. When I was a student at Ain Shams University, I have a training program or internship in some of automotive global company as a mechanical student. And good that this company is I'm working in now and leading this regional quality position. So it's journey needs some time. It's not easy step. Step, give one step, step, give some step. It's not easy, it takes some long time.
So do you think that youths now in the future can manufacture the first Egyptian car? Do you have the potential to do that?
Yes, I think we have, and I can see some of...
young engineers here in Egypt.
Yeah, I think
they have the potential.
And during my work in China, it's not only me, I see a lot of Egyptian working and a lot of Egyptian successful in automotive industry in US, in China, and different places. Maybe we don't give or shed the light on this good example, but we are capable, we have good engineers all over the world. And I can
so you met Egyptian workers abroad working?
Engineers and managers, I have a lot of colleagues working in leading industries. They have a lot of patent in braking system, a lot of pioneers working. My manager also is pioneer. He's working in Korea. It's called Sharif Dusui. We have a lot of people I meet there. Is very well recognized internationally. But what the advice I need to give here from the program is not now we need to manufacture a car. We need to see what is the trending in automotive industry. The trending now in automotive industry is electric car. Or autonomous car, self-driving car.
It's found in Europe everywhere. Yeah.
Europe and US, this is a trending all over the world. So I encourage the students when they work now in their project and their research to keep working on this self-driving car, autonomous car, solar energy, electric, because this is the trending and this is the future. And this don't need a lot of investment. This have a lot of programming, a lot of research. So I think we're capable and we can do this if we keep focused. And we have this alignment between educational institute and university, businessman, and the government. If these three triangle working together in one direction, I believe that we can do something and we can make some success in this.
I was just going to ask you about the future, as you mentioned right now. From your own point of view, from your experience in this field after all these years, definitely have your own image when it comes to the future of automotive in Egypt. And what do we need to do exactly from your point of view?
If I talk about the industry all overall, first I see a potential market. If we talk about the last months in this year compared to last year, there is growth in the market by 17 to 18%, and this is very good news for us because there is a potential in the market. But as I told you, the only way to grow and keep growing is not easy because there is a fierce competition from Dubai, from Iran, from Turkey, from Morocco. We need to focus on export. Export is very critical. For automotive industry, the best way to keep improving this industry is to focus on auto feeding industry. We have a lot of raw material. We have 39 metal in Egypt. We don't use in the best way, like aluminum, for example, is all over Egypt, but we don't use and utilize 100%. We have phosphate, for example, 70 kilometers along the Red Sea. We need to use this with our low manufacturing cost and this raw material, and we focus on export program.
So what is the future of electric cars in Egypt? Do you think that we can find it in Egyptian streets soon?
Soon, no. Because why soon, no? Because electric car need a lot of infrastructure, and I believe that in new cities and new capital, I believe that we need to have a lot of charging station, a lot of preparation in the infrastructure itself. So now the electric car is all over the world. We can import, but it's not easy to go to the streets because like electric car, it only drive for 600 kilometers without charging. So we need to charging a station every 500 kilometers to cover Egypt. I think we can start with Cairo, with the new capital.
Maybe in the new capital,
New capital of Cairo. If we keep focus on infrastructure, I think we can find it easy.
Are electric cars cheaper than normal cars? Or same prices?
Now it's not cheaper.
Yes.
Now it's more expensive. The initial cost is more expensive because it's early in the beginning. By the expectation, in 5 years or 8 years, it will be much cheaper, especially in the electricity itself. So on the long term, the running cost will be much, much cheaper. So, and this is why I try to say we need to prepare ourselves now because this is the trending. We cannot stop. So we need to be ready and we need to be well prepared from university and research and projects, from the infrastructure and our new cities.
You talked in the very beginning about your award, and you were talking about your share or your responsibility when it comes to the society in general. And definitely this is the social responsibility that has been one of the main concerns and the most important part when it comes to marketing in general, when it comes to any product. So how far it is important and how far you can share in the responsibility towards the society, towards the youth in particular, in the promoting the awareness?
I think it's not only individual. I do this on an individual basis, but it should be through all companies working in Egypt, because this corporate social responsibility is not only in Egypt, it's crucial to improve, because every company work of Egypt gets used a lot of benefits from Egypt. Every engineer, for me, for example, I study in government and public university, so we need to give back to the community so the community can take more steps. But we need to do this more on government level, on country level, not through only individual initiative. But this is crucial to keep growing.
So what's your advice to young Egyptian engineers at this stage?
Young Egyptian engineers, they need to work hard. I think this is the most critical. When I talk with them, I have a lot of discussion with engineers. They usually think when they graduate, they need to be manager and take a good leadership position, good salary, and this is not easy. We need to work more. I just give another example. When I graduate from Ain Shams University, I work in some German company. My salary was only 200 Egyptian pounds. I agree with this salary because I learn a lot from this German technology, and this is one of the milestones in my career. So I hope the young generation work hard. They don't have high expectation. Be patient, of course. Everything takes some time, and keep learning. Learning is continuous, endless journey. We cannot stop.
Because there is always developments in this field.
Yes, even for myself, I work in this field and I study like 20 years, and now I think that what I know is like this, because as you say, there is electric cars, there is solar energy, there is self-driving. I didn't work with them before, so I need to keep updating myself.
Okay, Mr. Shady El Safty, Regional Quality Manager, Egypt North of Africa, leading automotive company. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And
thank you so much for inviting and hosting me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shady. And now, dear viewers, we'll go to visit one of the touristic places here in Egypt with our colleague Dina Yunus. So stay tuned.